All welcome to channel 11. Today I'm going to give some technical experience about pivot. I used this one recently in my project. I would like to share my experience. So this is the definition about pivot. Pivot actually rotates the table valued expression by turning the unique values from one column in the expression into multiple columns in the output. And pivot runs the aggregation where they are required on any remaining column values that are wanted in the final output. So this is the definition. Ultimately they are saying turning the unique values from the into the columns. So how table like one table like 1 2 3. So I want to this is my output. My output and your count is something like count of anyhow I'm going to give some example, show you some example just for. So this is my initial output. Now I would like to turn it into 1 2 3 as a columns, and here I would like to show you output to something like fourth count 5. I mean 5 or 6. So this, if you want to see this like this kind of output, we will go for pivot. And pivot mostly used for the summary purpose. So let's go for syntax. I will show you Microsoft in website. This is the syntax for pivot. So if you see that, select non-pivot columns. Just remember this. I will explain in detail. This is the pivoted columns. If you have, and from this is the one section. Inside section we have subquery. In this subquery I just wanted to retrieve the what is my desired columns, and I will provide alias to this result. So from this result, and I am doing pivot of aggregate function like count and sum and min, and column being aggregated. So whatever the columns I am setting, I am retrieving here, it needs to be one that column needs to be here really aggregate. So this is the syntax. It has to follow this syntax for, and the column that contains values that will be columns header. So as I mentioned here, these columns 1 2 3 will, that columns name, I mean here if you see the my output will be the here columns containing. So here will come the my output, and here will come the first pivot column, second pivot column, and so on, last pivot column, and as and alias pivot table, and if you wanted to any order by. This is the syntax for pivot. And let's go for, this is pure technical way, so I'm not going in detail and one by one. So I will show you straight away an example. So if you see here, let me execute this syntax. So this is my output before pivot. So I want to this is product ID category name. Actually this is the category names. If you see that, mountain bikes, curly bicycles. So these are my category names. I would like to, this is the product ID for category. I would like to know this my categories I would like to output like my category names values as a headers, and for each value how many products available. So I would like to know that. So how we will achieve using pivot. So let's go for one by one here. Here I have used dynamic columns. So sometimes if any category added, if you don't, if you are not going for dynamic, I just need to update that column here. So I am using dynamic columns to get to fetch the dynamic column names. I have created one variable called columns, and in the columns, if you see that I am setting my column names by using quote name, and by default it is going to give brackets, angular brackets. And see here I am retrieving all my columns from my category. So these are it will store all my columns. If let me go and print this. What is the columns? Let me go and execute this one. So if you see that these are my columns, my category. So now these are all category names will become the columns. And what is the, so here if you see that, so now I will go one by one. Now I will retrieve all my columns dynamically. I have added to one variable. This is my query. So since I wanted to execute columns dynamically, that's why I'm putting it as in a string. So this is my query as a syntax mentioned here. Select non-pivot columns plus pivot columns. So here I can mention non-pivot columns if required. So here I am retrieving all, and inside subquery result I am retrieving all my product ID, category name from the product categories, and products from the products and categories, using category ID as a reference and primary key. I am fetching those details into, and then I am doing pivot of, uh, at present I am counting how many products are there for each category name inside category name, and these are the columns I am retrieving. So here if you see, observe, I am trying to fetch all my categories and products first, and pivoting, and I am counting product ID based on category name. So here my category names are children bicycle, comfort bicycle, cruiser bicycles, and all kinds of different bicycles here. So so this query first get that all the results, and we will do pivot, and it will first count the product ID and for each category name. So under the category name 1, children's bicycles, how many products? So like this, my 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 query before like this. So I'm outputting something like these are all will become columns, and this count will become values. So let me go to execute complete. If you see that these are the previously is values under my category name. So now it becomes columns, and the product count is become product ID count become values. So if you see this, children bicycles, comfort bicycles, how many bicycles. So if you want, we can add some more information like model year. Let me go. I think I have not remembered that name. Let me see what is that. If you want to see table definition, we have the shortcut. First select the complete table and Alt F1. If you press off Alt1, you will get all complete definition about the table. So now I wanted some extra information in my query, like model year. So let me add model year, comma start. So this is non-pivot column. I'm mentioning here these two are pivot columns. This is non-pivot columns. Let me go and see. So if you see a model here, I will be added. So sorry, it's already there. I think model here. Let me remove here. It may not required because I'm fetching. So this is my each year. How many means children's as well as comfort and different has been sold. There is no something road bikes. So like this you can add further non pivot columns here, whatever you want. So I hope you understand. These are my pivot columns I have used here. This is the dynamic purpose. And if you don't want dynamic, you can directly mention here. Let me go and remove this one. Since my query is not dynamic right now, I have explicitly mentioned my pivot columns here. Suppose if you want to remove anything, if you see that, if you want to see only, so since if we in future if anything added extra category added, then you have to come here and update this query. So to avoid that, I have created dynamic. So first I am getting the all columns from that category and passing here, so it will automatically dynamically fetch the all columns. That's it guys. I hope you understand something, and thank you for your time. Please keep watching my channel and encourage me. Thank you very much.